love what you wear on this show. Oh my God, his tongue sticks out. Hi, buddy.
Lauren Douglas, Lauren.
Douglas. He's an older fellow.
I can't believe I've never had the pleasure of getting to be in your company.
Thank you so much. I can't either. We know people in common.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was... Here we are.
Are you a person who crosses a room to say hello to people? Are you shy?
If I don't know them, I'm shy.
Me too.
Yes, I made up a rule, which is if you're in that situation, it is the more famous person's job to make you feel okay to come over to them. If that's going to happen, it doesn't have to happen.
Because I was going to say, if we were in the same place, I feel like I would my love of you would get the better of me, and I would say hello, but then also I'm an overthinker.
Right.
And then I talk myself out of things.
Don't you feel sometimes when people come up to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, really? You know that? Or you've seen that?
That's
I don't expect it.
How I feel. I never expect it.
No.
Sometimes people looking at me like I'm crazy, and I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
And then it's like a minute or two of like, and then I'm like...
What's this?
And then they're like, are you... And you're like, oh, that's what it is. I thought I was in trouble or the town weirdo more times. Yeah. And okay, we've all been in this world together, figuring it out, living life, maturing, developing. Mm-hmm. Do people feel that feeling about you, like they have grown up with you and grew as a person with you?
I feel like I just got to town and I'm brand new and I'm auditioning and I'm hoping for a show. And I remember that person and that time really, really well. And then now that I've not only gotten to do what I wanted, but am part of a show that people are still finding and still kind of sharing with another generation. You just could never have predicted that.
It's amazing the effect that show has had on people. I mean, it really touches a nerve.
Yeah.
Mothers and Daughters is definitely my karmic journey here on planet Earth.
That's interesting.
I'm like, it since I came out of the womb, I was like, mothers and daughters, like, na.
I mean, but weirdly, me too, and I'm someone who much more grew up with my dad, and so I didn't have that intense energy necessarily.
And they don't have to be there to have that. Sometimes it isn't even about proximity.
Right.
It just has such a big effect. Sometimes it's nostalgia, love of place and love of you guys. Sometimes it's this was my experience. Sometimes it's this is what I wish my experience was.
Right.
These are my issues with my mom. We were close in age. We were distant in age. I feel like people project so much.
Yes.
More than most shows ever made onto the Gilmore Girls.
Well, and then you add the internet in where people just use the word mother as look, she's mothering. I don't know if you've heard of this thing called Instagram. I joined it 1 year ago. I think it's gonna catch on.
Welcome to the party.
Thank you. I'm doing I would give myself a B- at best.
That's a decent grade in my academic journey. A B- was hot.
All right. Well, but yeah, people say mother's out or here comes mother or something, and I'm like, is that me? That's me. That's who they mean.
You literally are a mother and a mother.
Right, yeah.
People talk about whether it's a reboot, a continuation, where are they now, meeting them in this moment. I mean, I'm not saying this to be nice, you don't look any different. You could say it was the next day. It's a little weird, but congratulations, it's crazy. It feels exactly the same.
Yeah.
Would you go back? Would you pick it up again? Would you be open? Because everybody wants it.
It's yes. I always say yes because it's my favorite character. It's my favorite.
By the way, you just didn't break 1 billion hearts.
No, how would I mean, for me to go back I was on a cloud. It was pure joy. And then, it comes out and people feel this ownership over it and had their own experience of like, it wasn't the same, or it was the same, or I wanted this, or I hoped for that. And like, so I have in my mind kind of this dialogue ongoing with that audience. I think about them and I care about them.
What do you think it would be if you had complete control or got to wave a magic wand?
I've been saying this for a while, and finally I did something with Amy Sherman-Palladino, who created the show, the other night, and she's like, she heard from the press that I was talking to, that she was talking to, but to me, something that I love they do in England more than they do here is like, you have a season of a show that you've loved, and then like Downton Abbey was one for me, and then they do like a Downton Abbey Christmas, so you have like, you get to visit your characters, and it's holiday, and it's, you know, it's sentimental, but it's not like a whole reboot of the whole thing. So that is my idea that has been sanctioned by no one. And
I think if it was a Gilmore Girls Christmas, everyone would be there.
Right?
Yes.
So,
100%.
But I don't know.
Like Gilmore Girls Hanukkah, you know, you name it. Like any holiday.
It would be a holiday, of course. That would,
Gilmore Girls Easter, Gilmore Girls Summer, 4th of July.
Right.
Gilmore Girls Halloween, by the way, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Wow, Amy Sherman-Palladino, I mean, she really did create iconic shows. Gilmore Girls, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
She really has
Bunheads. She's got this new one, Etoile. I mean, that was the panel, is kind of a look back, which was wild for her too, you know, that she's still creating and very, very, you know, we're all kind of still active, and they're already starting to be like, look back here and celebrate, you know, it
doesn't seem that long ago.
It doesn't seem like that long ago. And it's hard to explain to people how quickly, not to get really existential, but it just goes by so quickly.
I remember for me a very beautiful healing moment, which was getting to cuddle up with my daughters and watch Gilmore Girls. You did create a place where we liked to go and felt good about ourselves there. That is such a powerful thing.
Thank you so much for saying that. And I started this, you know, career from doing school plays and stuff. Like, I wasn't thinking about where I would go or that I'd be sitting here today or that any of this would happen. But when I think about what I feel most proud of, it is to have contributed to that. That is what we do as entertainers, and, you know, to have something that connects, that's what it's all about. And I could just like die on this couch with Douglas because I feel like
tongues out.
Yeah, tongues out. I like, this is what so any other gifts this profession or time brings me is like extra. I feel so proud.
Well, parenthood is the same way. I mean, that is such a beautiful world that just celebrates everyone's weird individual journey into family. And I always thought that was such a safe landing pad to not be made to feel like yours had to look a certain way.
No. And that's such a nice thing that you were saying at the top of this show, that you want to create a home or a place to visit or, you know, welcome somebody in like they're your family.
I've never said that before,
really?
By the way. No.
Really?
I think it's because you evoke something very warm and that we also really need and are drawn to.
But so do you. That's why you're here. And that's why you've been doing what you've been doing
funny. I would never know that.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh my God.
Never. And when you were that little girl who didn't know where your life would go, was it books that really set you on your path?
As a child, yes, it's
because I know you're a huge reader now.
Yes, and I know you are too. I always have been. And it was also a value that I didn't really realize was a value that was instilled in me by mainly my father, who would read to me every night, and when I couldn't read myself, and was reading like, you know, Dickens or something, or like good poetry that I just thought sounded, you know, fun. And I was a kid who would recite poetry for company. Apologies to all of my dad's stepmom's dinner guests.
I think it's a great editor of people. Like, I'm not kidding. If they're not picking up what you're putting down, bye-bye.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know how many times you can hear Mighty Casey at the back and before you're like, all right, when's the appetizers? But yeah, so I was really fascinated by story and just reading, and so acting didn't ever feel like it just was the next thing you would do. It's just language and storytelling.
Bring
in
it
that
to
same
life.
way. Yeah.
You talk to me about your reading list, because I was talking with Jason, our producer, who's doing our segment, and I was looking through the last stack that you posted. There it is. Thank you, guys. I love also, and I think you might be one of the first people I get to talk to about this, do you read a cookbook like a novel?
Yeah, I love a cookbook as like relaxing. I'm not going to make probably 90% of what's in there, but I like the story because it's a little story, right?
Yes.
It's like the story of who this person was trying to make something the way somebody else made, but change it a little bit. And it's like a bite size, and you can kind of imagine making a beautiful cake and then not have to make it.
Pick up so many tips and they always write personal stories and anecdotes that, it's so interesting. I put my cookbooks with my regular books as well.
Yeah.
Because they're all the journeys to me.
Well, and that was a holiday stack, so it was very cookbook heavy because I, again, was sort of dreaming of yes. I mean, I entertain. I really love to have Thanksgiving. I love to do a big party. Do you cook?
A major cookbook collector. I can make you an appliance before I could make you a dish.
And you have.
And I love to cook, but I'm still a little too insecure to share it with anyone.
I understand. I just read a cookbook. It's like the next best thing.
And it is. And I love the eclectic, you read about filmmakers, you read literary authors, you read new books, old books. Your mix is so hot.
Thank you very much. And I also really love a thriller. There's nothing there represented, but it's not highbrow and it's not. I just am interested in being entertained.
Have you read The Housemaid yet?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm just starting it.
Yes.
Is it delicious?
I get confused though because I read, yes, it's good. I read so many that I'm like, is that the one where the murder took place in the cabin, or is that the one where the murder took place in the subway? Or they're all kind of similar.
You like a thriller.
I like a thriller.
Yeah, I picked
because it's so not what I do or what I'm in or what I write or read normally.
Do you watch true crime or no?
It's now.
I don't. I'm too scared of it.
I like a true. It's a very specific. It's like a true crime, but not too much crime. Just like a little crime.
Crime light.
Crime light. Ha ha ha. They were all fine at the end.
Yes. Or don't worry. This was all fiction.
Yes. Right. Because when it gets a little, I just have a low threshold for dark.
Macabre.
Nah.
The vastness and scope of your reading lists is really exciting and incredible.
Thanks.
And so if you were to do a book club, you could turn people on to new authors and genres because your reading lists are so not one note.
I just want to say before I respond to that this is incredible because this is the producer, Drew Barrymore, who's like, here's an idea and here's how you turn it into something bigger and here's that insight into how your mind has created all of this is incredible.
I also tend, as a business person, to think consumer first.
Yes.
And as a consumer, and I'm really glad that you publish these on Instagram, but I think there's a burgeoning business, a little cottage industry in Lauren Graham's world because what you're reading, you could really turn us on to stuff.
You don't think there's too many book clubs out there?
There's too many books to read. We need more guidance.
Wow.
Actually.
I love it. You heard it here. I would love to do that.
I also want to look to someone who's not going to box me in.
Right.
I want someone who's going to open up and expand my world, and your voracious reading would do that.
Well, it's true in that I don't have one thing that I like. I really like a variety, and I'm not precious about it having to be fancy.
New, old, highbrow.
Yes.
No, you're all over the map, and I
right.
don't think that there's a book club that represents that.
All right, I'll take it up with my book club person I don't have yet.
Well, I don't know. Because
is that person you?
Kate Hudson, we have Kate Hudson's running charades now at the show because she came here and changed our world and had us play running charades, and now we're doing it all the time. And it's Kate Hudson's, like, Lauren Graham's book club needs to be a thing. And yes, I highly recommend this. I'll do anything to foster it.
Okay, great. That's amazing. I love that Kate Hudson has trademarked running charades.
Just saying, you never know who's going to be.
Like now it'll be like a board game available this Christmas right after you watch the Gilmore Girls movie. You can
By the
get
way,
Kate Hudson's
I need
running
the
charades.
Gilmore Girls, I need Lauren Graham's book club, and I need Kate Hudson's running charades in my life.
You can have it.
Consumer first.
Yes.
Now, the Z Suite, your latest project, I feel this way so much about, like, what generation are we coming from as far as where will our life experience be our expertise or be valuable in that moment? Talk to me about this project, because watching it, I'm like, oh my God, I want to be every generation, but we're not.
No.
But nobody can know everything.
Right.
But it's funny how much they dissect it in this.
Well, it's very even-handed. It's sort of saying we all are silly and we all also really know what we're talking about. And for this character, it was so fun. It was so different to be the boss of something, to not be like, you know, have... To be the professional was really cool. And I always think like, oh, I'm not really, you know, that's not kind of my vibe. And then I get on set and I'd be like, this one, that one, this thing, that thing. Yes, no, sure, why? Like I suddenly like really loved it. And
you're like, I am an alpha.
I am the boss. And so it's just the relationship between these 2 or 3 generations or all the generations. And in a weird way, it's like, you know, that's present in Gilmore Girls, that's present in Parenthood. Like,
that's true.
You know, and in my life, I have found so much joy, speaking of like the mother-daughter continuum, in the kids who've played my kids, in the parents who've played my parents. And like, you know, those relationships don't always translate, but for me, a couple of them really have.
Yeah.
And so I'm friends with people who are different ages, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, you know, just to... keep up on what Chapel Roan's doing or whatever.
Which, by the way, though, it was someone who was younger who turned me on to Chapel Roan.
Yes.
And then I felt so in the know and so cool. And I'm searching for everything everywhere because I'm interested in everything everywhere. I will make also so many jokes that I know are going right over the head of certain ages.
Right.
I'm like, Dom DeLuise,
Anyone?
come on.
Yeah.
And I got the crickets on Tumbleweeds.
They asked me at this panel the other night, they were like, what TV shows meant a lot to you? And I was like, Laverne and Shirley, crickets. Rhoda, crickets.
Yeah.
And then finally I said, Saturday Night Live.
But that is a show that has managed to stay relevant.
Yes.
And has never almost even been, even though it always was, but heightenedly so, multi-generational right now because of the digital space. We actually have, as we sort of come to a close in our segment, a fun poppy round of questions. Would you mind if we threw them your way?
Sure.
Well, everybody, it is time for the Fast Five. Somebody is here to conduct this, actually. If you want to look there or there, here they are.
Huh?
Hi, Lala. It's the Fast Five. What were my best and worst traits as a roommate?
Always fun and funny. And I don't think she really had any, honestly, bad... Sometimes I would get notified that we were having a party a bit late in the day. She's like, oh, by the way, you know, 10 people are coming over. And I'd be like, oh, okay.
And would you party too, or like turn in early?
No. It's more that I am like a neurotic host who like really wants to prepare. And like, even if you have no furniture, I was like, wanted it to look nice. So it was just being like prepared.
By the way, I literally have a best friend who's like, I'm not coming to your house for dinner so I can watch you move furniture.
Yeah, I know.
I understand. Okay, next question, Connie.
Number 2, did you ever snoop through my stuff? And if so, what was the most surprising thing you learned about me?
No, I didn't snoop. But one time we were at a screening of a movie Connie did, and she kind of jumped a little bit, and she goes, oh, I borrowed your Prada coat. And then, like, seconds later, Connie wearing my coat appeared on the screen. And she'd like forgotten to, she was like, oh, by the way, can I borrow that? No,
Too late,
Yeah.
but now you know.
Yeah.
Okay, cute. Connie, next question.
Number 3. Have you kept anything sentimental from our shared home? Doubt it.
I don't even think we had a spoon.
So liberating, isn't it?
I know. Now I have lots of spoons.
Yeah. We were doing a segment about like less clutter, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm a hoarder. Okay, next question. I'm so messy.
Number 4. What's the wildest LA memory you have from us living together?
Oh boy. I mean, we were neither of us super wild. It was just such a fun time because we were working enough that we could not have a waitressing job or whatever. We had these fun parties. She was doing a half hour, I did some half hour, and you had to work a little harder to get to know people then. You would get a phone number, you would invite them to the house. Like, you know, it was just such a time of like everything was kind of ahead and we had enough money to buy a few margaritas out. Like it was just, you know, but nobody was known or famous or worried it was just a really fun time.
Free.
Yeah, that's right. But with enough, like, a little bit of money and a little bit of jobs, and you could, you know, the one thing we did have to stop doing is having games nights because people got so crazy.
All right, last question.
Number 5. Do you remember the oddest things we did for money while trying to make it into the biz? Some of those you can't talk about. Love you.
Well, when I met Connie, she was working as like a murder mystery person. You know, where you go to somebody's house and they go like, and you pretend you're dead. And like, that's the dinner party. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh, that was a big thing in New York. You'd go to like a murder mystery party and there'd be actors, like hired actors there. And some of them were the killers and some of them were other, you know, it would be like a whole evening of theater, but at your house.
And
that was Connie was doing
the
that.
game like, then you would have to figure out like
Yes.
who did it?
Yes.
Okay, yes, okay.
And then I had a job when I first got to New York that was wearing a dog costume for an entire day as the World Cup soccer mascot.
By the way, I bet you were so cute.
Have you ever worn a giant
No, it probably
head?
doesn't feel very cute.
It doesn't feel very good. Also, you forget that you are already smiling because the head is smiling. You don't have to do anything. But people would go to take my picture and I'd be like, they can't see you.
I would never not smile, too. Lauren, this has been so amazing. All of season 1 and the episodes of Z Suite are available to stream for free exclusively on Tubi. And everybody, we'll be right back.